Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's been a minute, but we're here with some Valorant in week 5 of ECAC. We're back in the Titans division. We're going to match up between Boise State and Keiser University. And Wes, it's been a couple of weeks for us, but this is going to be a very fun matchup.
Yeah, I've definitely missed this. It's been a while. Schedule's not lining up, so very happy to be back and very excited about this matchup currently
Yeah,
in front of us.
yeah, we got the Mustangs and the shot, or sorry, I don't even know who the Kaiser's team is. I didn't look it up. My bad. Well, we got the guys out of Fort Lauderdale, the guys in Boise, and they're gonna be playing up against each other. Boise State currently 0-4 on the season right now. Meanwhile, Kaiser University is currently 3-1. So I think there's definitely a clear favorite going into this matchup. It looks like it's going to be Kaiser. Kaiser's only lost to Cumberland. A little funny thing about Cumberland is that they posted on Twitter like last week that they actually haven't played anybody in Valorant in like 8 weeks. So I'm assuming that was a forfeit loss. So, I mean, technically speaking, Kaiser is undefeated in matches they actually play.
Yeah. Definitely see a bit of a difference here as in their record. So you gotta kind of lean towards Kaiser, but Boise State in Titans division. So you never know with this division.
Yeah, we'll see, but it's gonna be bind here to start out. Assuming this is Boise State's pick, and we're in the agent select already. And okay, I saw the Reyna being hovered, but the Yoru's locked by Boise State, and that makes a lot of sense. Yoru, one of the best duelists in the game right now.
Yeah, and we're also seeing the vice pick coming from uh, Kaiser's university here.
Yeah, I
Which,
like her a lot on this map. I don't know about you.
yeah, I've seen. I think Vice was the first time we ever saw Vice was on Bind, and at the time she was still so new, and there wasn't a lot that was going on, and it just still so new, not yet defined in what she could do. And now seeing how much, now that with Tejo coming out and the new meta being developed here, I really do think that Vice is a really good agent to start on this map with.
Yeah, definitely being rolled out at the highest level as well. So I'm excited to see how things work. They're pretty typical agent picks here for the map that we're seeing. Obviously, you have the Breach Tejo combination, which everybody has been obsessed with lately. I do think that Breach on this map a little bit weaker than he is on most others. A lot of teams, at least in pro play, have been avoiding running the Breach on this map. Tejo still, I think, has been played on literally every map this split, which is kind of a testament to how strong the character is. So, though, I'm excited to see what Boise State brings with this team comp.
Yeah, definitely. I think that especially still being so new, Tejo just has so much. It's still very difficult to combat, and when you're seeing how much util you can and how much use you can get out of Tejo's util, very good pick for pretty much any map. Very, at this point, just able to pretty much adjust to anywhere.
Yeah, it's a little bit crazy. I'm expecting nerfs in the future. I think you are too.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy that there's been such a polarizing character in the game. But in the meantime, we're going to see a lot of Tejo played, and today's no exception. Utility being traded down B long to start us off in this one. Just a bit of a split look here. Got one lurker outside of Hookah, and might be a timing here with the Sky. Royals is going to go straight on site, and they're going to see that it's entirely free. But outside of sight, they really have no space gained. Starting to get pinched from behind, but KOS actually getting everything. Picked out both people inside of Hookah, and that is big gains for them. And a fight. Round elbow. Also going in ESU's favor. So this pistol, very, very strong so far. Pretty pinched on sight. It's just solo. Paint Shell comes out. Takes up a little bit of damage. But a 2v4, what can you really do? Yeah, spike tap, and here comes the utility. It's just too much to handle. And Boise State get on the board first.
Yeah. Here, I mean, post plant when you have Tejo, especially, is super useful with his I still don't know their names. Is it like
Salvos, I believe.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Yes, the salvo. Thank you. Um, just very useful for post plant, being able to step off or be in a more safe position and still be able to hold spike pretty effectively.
Yeah, it's super, super strong, and post plant meta has always been a thing. I think it's even a little easier now. Lethal is going a little bit crazier. I have no idea how they're living. Still, though, KOS does find Mason. Uh, Weird interaction on that first blood. KOS, I think, with like 20 health left, and they're really going to go after him now. Yeah. How can he be able to get away with his life there? So that's the Viper gone, but meanwhile, the B site has been completely taken over. It's going to be a couple of seconds, then Spike will be down.
Spike planted.
Reaggressing down B long. Fight back towards Sand, and it's Meloton combining with Kayagi. Pick up those 2 picks. It's just lethal. And Nino, all up to them. What can they do? Not a lot of firepower in the arsenal. Still, though, lethal does find 1. That's good, at least for the economy. But Nino maybe just waiting this one out. Not going to get any orbs over. Let's go down to the spike. Actually going to make a run at it. Doesn't go too well. It's going to be Royals with another orb. 2 away now from the dimensional drift.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a sketchy start there by Lethal, kind of pushing forward with that, oh, blanking on names again. Bucky? Not Bucky. Oh my god, Shorty.
Yeah.
Excuse me. With that Shorty there, a bit of a risky move and one that didn't really pay off as it ended with a teammate getting picked and then them, Lethal, having low health at the end there.
It's such a funny start to the round. But you know what? When you're on an eco, you kind of just go for the craziest thing possible and hope it just catches the other team off guard. And it did. Certainly did. Get some Yoru TP play, just faking noise. It's going to actually cause Keiser to try and re-clear showers. And they do, but I think they're going to realize now that this is going to be a C hit. And it's all up to Ant. Lone member on site to try to hold this down. See, the Trailblazer does clear out down long. It's buying a lot of time for the team, and finally have a few more bodies on site. Nice spam through the box by KOS, and that's a good entry into this round. Still Mason and Ant anchoring, doing their best. And Boise State's just playing this incredibly slow right now. Oh, and Mason is just dead to rights. The molly is perfect. The execute, too good. Okay, well, there's a bit of a body block, and Ant, meanwhile, just found 3 out of the TP. Somehow this round flips entirely on its head, just off a massive hero play from Ant. Crimson does get a little bit of info, maybe a footstep made. Can't find the pick on the solo, though. So, okay, scary bonus round for Keiser University, but end result is what they wanted. Get one on the board here.
Yeah, you do want to stop that ball from rolling any further than it already has, you know, even if it's only 2 there. But beyond that, like, the util usage from Boise State so far has been really good. They've been able to play off each other, use each other's util, and have some pretty impressive plays with mollies that I think have really just been what makes them able to get those 2 rounds so far.
Yeah, their execute on B is extremely powerful. But we're finally maybe switching it up here. It looks like they're going towards A. Spam from Mason. Don't find anything, but here comes the execute. Mason stunned up. Hey, what's walking in? Not expecting solo play up on top of truck. HL. Oh, we're gonna do a lot of damage. Yagi barely getting away with their life. A lot of question marks now, but how does Boise State get back into this? Looks like step 1 is Try to re-clear, take some space. They're going through showers. But this site is entirely stacked. There's 3 people there ready for whatever comes their way. Do have the dimensional drift at their disposal with the Vise wall. Seems impossible to push out of showers right now.
Who's next?
Dimensional drift is used. Royal is going to try to gain some info for the rest of the squad. No one's really playing off this extremely slow. Royals is trying to make the hero play happen. Kayagi swinging off with him. He's on low health somehow. Just baits out Solo, and Meloton just finds a pick there. Absolute chaos on the execute. Works out. Spike is down. And number advantage firmly in the grasp of Boise State. Nino has a chance here to really make something happen, but it's only a judge in hand, and it's being watched carefully. Yeah, the Classic finds one, but the salvos are already out, and the spam is coming through on the spike. I have no idea what just happened. Somehow, some way, Keiser just wins that.
I'm glad that wasn't just me. I thought I was frozen there for a minute.
I literally didn't see what happened.
Yeah, and a bit of a risky trade-off with diffuse, I think there.
Nino was positioned extremely well. Only a judge in Classic in hand, but somehow I think got 3 and just clutched it out. So the Viper put in some work early. I mean, basically going to be that second Sentinel on their team, so see how that's working out. Showing the stopping power. Okay, the salve is just gonna clear close.
Toxin screen down.
Really just able to gain so much space off that utility. And the other important thing to note is that those salvos recharge in about 30-40 seconds or so. See another round of those go down. I think exactly what they're playing for. You're seeing that Boise State's really kind of playing these slow executes. All right, well, Rolling Thunder's out, but Ant is in the same position he was last time, and he still gets 2. The Rolling Thunder doesn't find him, but the fight's on site.
One enemy remaining.
Not really going too great. It's up to Meloton. One's behind. One just bring her out down the Rosie, and Lethal jumps down, somehow gets the pick as well. So a few improbable rounds in a row won here by Keiser.
Yeah, it's again a little bit messy currently here and there. Ant being able to do that same thing twice for the second time, going pretty much unpunished again. Pretty impressive, but also a bit of a mistake on Boise State at that point. Not really catching that, you know, not clearing it, or making. I guess they did clear it, but not before you got two kills.
Yeah, it's a bit tough. The discipline isn't necessarily perfect yet. The utility executes has been pretty good so far, but okay, a lot of timing and the orbital strike to retake lamps. It's a lot of damage to Royals, but somehow gets away with their life. The hold so far been solid from Keiser. Oh, this big fight inside that showers. The timing is just off, but the flash is perfect. Somehow Meloton just picks up 3. Lethal finds Royals though. It's gonna be a 3v2. And it does find KOS. Lethal is being watched.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, the shots are too clean. And now Visel gonna force Kayagi back into the corner.
Last player
Used,
standing.
played with, but Lethal is perfect for the trade.
Yeah. You really see the teamwork and the communication coming in to play here, being able to bounce off each other, trade out, and make sure that you have a teammate watching your back, holding that same angle you are, so that if one goes down, the other can make up for it. Especially in a 2v1 situation like that, where you have just to defuse left. I mean, you really see it happening, and how these players really do know how to play off of each other. On both sides.
Yeah, the trades have been very clean, especially from this Keiser squad, and that just goes back to the fundamentals. Maybe that's a little bit of the reason why they're doing so well this season. Seem to be very, very coordinated.
Fake teleport.
Yeah, this fight at B-Long can be a bit tough. I don't think they're expecting Ant in this position again. Ant's just gone away with playing like a rat every single round. Yeah, big duel. Lethal just playing that angle behind too. Finds a free one. Can also see that A short is just entirely closed off. It's just really quiet, really slow. I don't know if the Mustangs really know what they can do this round. They don't have a lot of firepower. They don't have any space.
Seconds left.
They got a bit of utility, but just players that are still alive on the side of Keiser. It might just be too much to overcome.
Spike
They
planted.
do get spiked down though. Are they expecting Lethal behind too? But they might be. Kagi holding out the flashpoint. Melton ready to swing. I think Lethal did spot that shoulder. Oh, and there's the flash. There's the trades, and it's Kayagi with 3. Or sorry, it's not Kayagi's 3. It's with 2. 2 with the Stinger, but Nino 2 of their own. So another good hold, good retake by Keiser.
Yeah, and same with that, playing off each other once again, having someone to back you up. Something that I've kind of noticing for Keiser is that they don't have these immediate rotates when you see people on site. You have someone pretty much holding down or anchoring the other site a lot, which at first kind of, at first it's always what you want to do, but then when they start continuously pushing, and I don't really think that Boise has rotated at all, if only maybe once or twice. But usually that lack of manpower would be worrying, but it's certainly working for Keiser right now.
Yeah, they seem to be just totally comfortable with giving up space. This time they try to fight for it. How does Ant live? Every single time, Ant's just getting away with murder. Out 6 HP. Gonna continue to jiggle too. I mean, the confidence has to be flowing right now for the Seahawks. They're just getting away with everything. They are in even numbers. Low HP on the Sky. If Nino can find a few more here. Just these next picks. Then they're back into the advantage, back in the driver's seat. Exactly where they're at right now. It just seems like there's nothing that they can do wrong. See the util trying to clear out some of these angles that have caught them in the past. Just gonna start walking into this B site, but just
30 seconds
being
left.
extremely cautious. There comes the Viper's Pit. Gets them on the site, but there's 3 here. A lot of rifles, a lot of spam. It's gonna be on the Crimson, it's gonna be on the KOS, and there's nothing those two can do.
Yeah,
So, ult gone and no spike planted.
exactly. Boise has been playing slow, as we've mentioned throughout this match so far, and it worked at first. Securing them those first 2 rounds. It seemed that slow plays was kind of taking Keiser off guard. Even like a push towards like the end of like when time was running slow. But right now Keiser has their number when it comes to playing slow. They know what they're doing, and they need to switch it up because 6 rounds in a row they've lost.
Yeah, well, it might be another one because there's Solo just running straight at him with the showstopper. They've taken a ton of space. They're gonna know this is gonna be an A hit. They've cleared basically everything else out. Lethal's being chased down by Royals with the dimensional drift. But even then, it's just to get some info. And Militant just has no choice but to back off. They have spike possession as well. I didn't notice that. I mean, there's nothing that BSU can do right now. It just seems like Boise State is just not up to the challenge at the moment. Sheer aggression this round coming out from Keiser is just insane. Oh, nice shots by KOS though. Maybe we have ourselves around. It's gonna have to be all 5.
30 seconds left.
It's just a Guardian. How much can you really do? Oh, not from behind, but hasn't caught KOS yet. I'm just gonna hear the reload though, and the footsteps. Yeah. Ant doing the thing he does best, just finding the perfect timing.
Yeah, so far, and has been pretty consistent with that timing and getting 2 kills at the very least per round. At the top of the leaderboard right now. Very impressive. I mean, aggressive plays by Keiser have been these past 2 rounds, I believe, and it's been working out because Boise has been allowed to play slow for so long that they're just not expecting these pushes, and they aren't as well equipped to handle these pushes as they seem to prefer just holding back, playing slow.
Wall set.
Time to jump.
I think you're absolutely right, but I think they do need to find maybe a bit of a different look, and this is it. It's Royals just running straight in, shorty in hand, has controls of Lamp. The rest of the team is entirely disconnected, trying to fight their way through, but it's just KOS on an island, and Lethal's not going to miss that one. Every player right now on the side of Keiser is just hitting their shots, and the Kinects are clean. Okay, Royal just walks straight in. Sorry, it was a Bucky, but yeah, walks straight in and just gets one. So not necessarily the worst outcome. The Mustangs just, they're disconnected. They're in shambles. They're getting flanked from every direction, and every angle is being held. So it's going to be another round. It's 8 in a row for the Seahawks.
That is definitely not the best feeling right now. If you are Boise State, you do not want to be in this situation. But I mean, they tried this aggressive play, but I just think they weren't backing it up. You know, they weren't. The Yoru pushed in. Royals pushed in there, but was just didn't really have much backup and only really had a shotgun. Which I mean, on this map, shotguns are very useful, especially with Yoru and Raze, but
okay, so a little sketchy. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
no,
go ahead.
I just saw the op in hand and just the giant wide swing, completely unpunished. That op gonna pivot over towards showers now. KOS maybe toying with the idea of peeking it. They hear the shot. Will they continue to push here? Yuto behind it. It looks like they are. Yeah, they're just gonna spam her out. Yeah, there's nothing that she can do. Solo gone. Ray's dead, and the off that angle. They can take shower space now. But Ant, oh my gosh. Look where he is. Behind your team every single time and finding every single member. How many rounds? How many rounds can Ant win just from finding a good time, just from being there on the flank? It seems like too many. Is the answer.
100%. And just once again, Kaiser's going unpunished by Boise here. Just bold play after risky play. And they're just not stepping up to meet these plays. They're not punishing these moves that shouldn't not be going on in the first place. I mean, you know, with the wide swing with that operator, with Ant down long on B site earlier, just should not have been able to get away with his life there.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it just seems insane. Lethal there, definitely not going to get away with their life. That is too much. And okay, another dimensional grift. I think this is the third one that we've seen from Royals. So far, it's not really been too impactful. I think that trend is going to continue. They do get spiked down. It's still 4 alive for Keiser. This time, I think there's a really good chance. Yeah, that they can convert. They find Ants on the flank. Kayagi gets a pick as well, so it's going to hold that numbers advantage. It's going to have to take some heroics, and this Viper's Pit may just be exactly that. It's Nino in the 3v1, playing around. Ham's trying to wrap. You expect Melton here. Just lets it drop. Yeah, but not gonna have enough time to defuse. It's gonna be all for naught. There's 3 on the board finally for the Mustangs.
Yeah. I mean, good round for Boise there, being able to finally kind of get those punishment as I was just talking about. You know, like find Ant on the flank, watching that, you know, knowing where he usually is and where he's showing up. But overall, this is not really where you want to be if you're Boise State. With the, you know, only going 3 rounds and losing 9 in a row. It's just not the kind of place you want to be at currently. Not impossible. We've seen worse comebacks, but does not fill you with confidence, doesn't fill you with like hope in what's going on, and it's an uphill climb at this point.
Your cope, if you're a Mustangs fan, is that there's a chance this wasn't your pick. There's a chance it was, though, and that is a scary scenario. Also, crazy Vise lineup coming out there. Just utility alone, I'm already worried in. Look at Hansa already through lamps. We'll get cleared out, but just takes so much space. The pistol did go in the favor of Boise last time, though, and it might go the same way here. Never mind, it's looking like a good, clean execute. Everybody's on to site. Shot's not landing, and Solo just finding everybody. 1v1 after 1v1 after 1v1.
Yeah, a little strange there. Just kind of keep pushing through there and not worrying about the fact that you're giving them 1v1s, not pushing together, not wide swing, short swing, just a little strange. But I mean, overall, I guess pistol round just goes to the attacker side.
Yeah, I guess so. But unfortunately for the Mustangs, I mean, that means they're down 10-3 and expected to go down to 11. They are going to force here. I don't think there's much of an option. But I also know that that Keiser is going to be ready for this. Flash out. Showers just to figure out where people are located at. Nino gonna fight down long. You can see the flash is being held. You're ready to swing. Oh, but lethal. Oh, don't expect it. Doesn't land the shots though. First, but going the way of Boise State. They're going to need a little bit more than that if they want to bring this one home. KOS thought they had the timing, but it was being watched ever so carefully. Kayagi is just trying to make something happen. Was being pinched on both sides. There's really running out of time, just like the rest of Boise State. They're being headhunted. And it's Mason with 3 on the round to bring the Seahawks up to 11.
Yeah, it's getting stressful out there for Boise State at this point. You know, only 2 rounds until the loss of the first map, but still, still could bring it back. I mean, definitely hard, but having it there. Little bit of a strange push on B when A was in a more place to be executed for Keiser, but I mean, it worked out in their favor and they were able to get there in the end.
Yeah, and well, I think they're gonna get all the way across this finish line to win this map pretty damn soon. As you say, trying to switch things up, get really aggressive down sand, but it's just not gonna work. Lethal finds the first, and everybody else just decides, let's get the heck out of Dodge. In this A site, they're hitting it fast. He does find one. Goes with another. Maybe a few more shots going their way, and they can figure it out. It looks like that might just be it.
Out of charges.
Odd if Mason has anything to say about it, though. Not gonna go down backside. They know where Royals is at. That flash doesn't get any info. This is gonna be a very hard post plant to convert on. Royals is gonna have to isolate fights. Molly's down. Time's ticking. And they're just playing so disciplined, just playing tucked. You know what they need to do. 6 bullets in the hand. Time going down. Rose sticking and not landing the shots. It's going to be another round win. It's a clutch by Mason. They're up to 12. Up to 12, man.
Match point.
Yeah, I mean, post plant there looking, I mean, right before Spike went down, looking a little bit rough there, but both Ant and Mason were positioned pretty perfectly for each other for that post plant and just made it pretty impossible for Royals to defuse there. I mean, certain times it was with shots, but with both of those players just sitting and pretty much tucking, only really peeking a little bit there. Not much you could do.
And it doesn't seem like there's much that can do at all this round. Lethal just finds a free one, even though they know exactly what's going on. Hey, Augie, though, let's find a few picks.
Spike planted.
They're just fighting through backside, and that's exactly what they do best. They fight as a team, they take all that space, and they just make it impossible. Yeah, Orville's strike in hand. It's a 2v2, but utility might just be a little too much. Kayagi down to 25.
One enemy remaining.
Maybe there's a chance, though. Nah, the Molly. The Molly. That's going to kill. He's not going to get half. It's going to be the end. It's unfortunate. And it's all for naught. There it is.
Attackers win.
Big win there. Dominant map one.
Yeah.
Keiser up 1-0.
I don't think there was a single win in the second half for Boise State, which has got to feel a little bit rough there. 13-3 is not a score that you feel good about there. But that does lead us to our map 2, which is Lotus. And definitely a much different than Bind, with all 3 different sites. Definitely more attack sided there, as you don't know. You have to split your resources between 3 sites and can only have maybe 2 players per site, and then 1 site left with 1 defender. So we'll see how that one goes.
Yeah, I am interested to see, because the defense of Keiser looked a lot more disciplined than the side of BSU, and their attack was also so incredibly solid. I mean, the aggression of the team, their ability to work together, it's just very, very scary. So moving to Lotus, I'm not saying that it's entirely over. Like, there's still a chance the Mustangs can get back into this one, but right now, Keiser is playing so clean.
Yeah, yeah. And as you said, they're playing together really well. And I think that their teamwork is really what helps their individual abilities come through. Like that just you're able to follow up and show off these abilities and you because of the fact that you have a team that you can trust and rely on to either trade out or have your back and to watch it here. Um, yeah, I definitely still, haven't even entered the game yet, so anyone's game. And I mean, our decider map is supposed to be Pearl, and as I said, before the game started, I personally really like watching people play on Pearl. So, little fingers crossed here that we get to see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, well, for you, I hope so, but uh, we'll have to see. That might not be in the realm of reality. We'll figure it out. Anyways, we are going to head a little bit to a break. Once all the players are ready to go, we'll move back into things and get you into map number 2. All right, and I believe we are back. So, map 2 about to get underway. Lotus gonna be where we head to, and honestly, I've already made my opinions known about how I think this series will go. But anything could happen here. We're gonna get an agent select in a second. Things I'm expecting to see is more Tejo, of course.
Mhm.
Maybe a little bit of the Vise come back for another round. It didn't look entirely terrible in the last map. Obviously, the winning team had the Vise on their team, so maybe there's a correlation there. Um, and yeah, that's about that. Um, Again, I'm expecting Lotus to be a very good map for Keiser here because it's a map where aggression wins out. You have to just push mound and rubble constantly, take that space and hold that space. And I believe that Keiser may just be a little bit better than that, just based on how we saw Bind. But maybe the Mustangs have something cooked up here. Maybe the Boise State has the sauce that they need to bring this one home. We're about to find out. We're going into Agent Select in West. Tell me what you're seeing.
Yeah, I'm seeing an immediate lock with Raze and Tejo, which I mean makes sense there. Which we are seeing a different.
Spicy.
We are seeing a bit of a different who is playing who on Kaiser's side here. With Mason still playing that sort of that controller, holding those smokes here. But this time, instead of Nino being on Viper, which is more of that secondary controller on Bind, we're seeing them on Tejo, which I think they didn't have Tejo last time, and this time could prove to be very useful for them.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that they didn't bring the Teo last map and they still had the results they did. So,
Yeah.
And we're seeing the Vise again. Meanwhile, we're seeing a Deadlock instantly locked in on BSU's side. I think Deadlock is very, very strong on this map. Is probably her best map in the game right now, maybe second best. But I'm excited to see what we see from Boise State in regards to that.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the role switch up. I do think that yeah, usually those Viper players are the flex players, so seeing him pick up the Teo, not entirely crazy. Probably a little bit relieved that now he could just point and click instead of having to use lineups.
Yeah, definitely.
But either way, it's going to be to start Boise State on the defense, Keiser on attack, and we're kind of looking for a nice neutral default, maybe split towards B, depending on what happens here. I see the salvo immediately going down on the C site, but we can also see is that everybody from Boise State is stacked up right at the entrance of main. They're gonna start walking straight out, and I don't know if they're expecting Solo to take this fight, but there it is. Melton does even up numbers though and get spiked down. It's a really good positive start here. Unfortunately, they are walled off.
Over there.
But it seems like it's gonna work out. Maybe. Who knows? Solo. Working their way back in. Wall down. And still has a few nets to throw their way. That just lives on 5 health. But I think they know that is behind. It's gonna get really, really tough to win this fight. Kayagi does it best. It's one. Melton also still not down. It's 3 kills apiece with 2 of these players, and Crimson gonna be the one that wraps it up nicely there. So Boise State does win the pistol, and that's good. That's big for them.
Yeah, as you were saying, with that aggression there, that Lotus favors those who are aggressive. Boise was pretty aggressive right there. Like basically full stacking there on C, and then just pushing all the way up, really. And they didn't need to. And there was only like 2 or 3 players, and able to get those picks pretty early on really helped them with then being able to play slow, just holding spike for the rest of that time.
Looking over another similar play here. They're just fighting rubble control mound control so aggressively, and Royals is just getting infinite value off of it. There's 3 picks Nice and easy. And Spike is also again firmly in the hands of Boise State. KOS does, I think, retrieve the Spike, and Lethal is finding a nice flank all the way around. Get a nice pick on Kayagi.
Player standing.
That's all that's going to happen here, as 2 picks on the round for Keiser, but ultimately it's Boise State on top.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it go similarly last time with Boise State getting 2 rounds in a row and then just not able to get any rounds until 9 rounds later. But so far they are being a lot more aggressive than they were on Bind, and it is working out for them. You know, fighting for that mound control, fighting for just defense there.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think they need to continue to do that, and they're going to switch it up. They're going towards B this time. It's Crimson in the first, Royals with the second. Does get traded out, but 2 early picks on this eco round is good for them. Ants taking up a little bit of space towards Mount. The deadlock setup is there. It's just every player searching for where they can go. Angle. Yeah, just out for free. Breakable was gone. Lethal not aware of the possibility. Now Melton's going to know. They're coming here. Just going to play smart, play the retake, play the numbers. So Spike will go down, but it's a 4v2 situation. Boise State making a very interesting choice. But somehow Solo's ready for it, and Solo's hitting everything. Oh my, Showstopper comes out, 3 HP. That's all he needs. There you go, 4 kills, 4 crucial kills for Keiser. They again just managed to right on the shoulders some of their giants on this squad and convert what seemed impossible.
I didn't think that. I thought they were in a tight corner there. You know, with that round, and just able to get 3 right then. Solo able to get 3 right there, and get the last one with the showstopper. I mean, it was kind of smart and risky to clear that corner earlier for KOS, but I mean.
All right, well, it's fast and aggressive. This is what we come to see, but this time it's actually going to be Keiser coming out on top. Have this A site.
Spike planted.
Boise State, though, kind of just everywhere. And it's KOS fighting outside of Breakable, finding the first. It's Mason who goes down. And Crimson also just... Wow, okay. These positions so unpredictable right now. And it's working so well. Chaos may just be able to stick this. There's no one here that's ready for this. Okay, Nino does speak out of the smoke, and somehow, some way, once again, we're back on a 1v1 with even numbers. Oh, Nino's on 1. It doesn't matter. Holy clutch, holy shot. And it just shouldn't, they shouldn't be getting away with this.
No, definitely not. These past 2 rounds have seemed to just be not good for Keiser, and then they're pulling it right back. 5v2 and just able to get it on 10 health is honestly crazy. That those past 2 rounds should have probably been pretty good for Boise to get, and they just were not able to secure it. Again, teamwork, positioning, and just, I guess, pure skill as well from Keiser.
Yeah, but also at the same time, I mean, Boise State cannot be letting this happen. I know the frustration must be setting in for this squad. it's just you have the numbers. Every single thing seems to go right up until the retake actually happens. When they enter onto site on defense, they gotta clean it up. They want to be able to keep themselves in this game, in this series.
Here.
But it's a really, really slow start here for Keiser on this round. It's gonna be Crimson. It's gonna be a family photo, but it's gonna be one that he gets away scot-free with. It's one, that's all he'll get. Lethal trades it out eventually.
Spike planted.
I mean, Ant's gonna hear these footsteps from Royals. Knives out. Shots are whiffed, though. There's no way. Don't let this one happen, Ant, right? Surely not. Yeah, Teo Rocket's coming in. Util is going everywhere, and somehow Royals wins it. Okay, well, back to reality. Does take him out eventually, but still getting way more than he should have. Allison's got to be really careful. Lethal does get cleared. They got to stick the spike, though. They don't have the positions to do it. It's be a lot of picks, a lot of damage, but they're still going to lose the round. Although, not really the worst result.
Yeah. I mean, a little scuffed there with Ant versus Royals towards the A main, but I mean, overall, once again, you're saying like up until that the actual point of having to retake, of having to defuse the spike and get on there, they just aren't able to fully pull through when it comes to retake. So once that spike is down for Keiser, they have so far been able to just keep it down, defend their spike, and Boise just hasn't been able to get on.
Yeah, they really have not. I don't know. There's a lot of things that need to change for Boise, but again, they're still relatively in this thing. Luckily for them, they are pretty good on the pistol. And that's really where all of their rounds have come from, for the most part. But right now we are in a bit of a tech pause, so we will go to a break. We'll be back in just a little bit once that gets sorted out and wrap up the rest of this map too. Were they good?
Yeah, we're back.
Oh, we're live? Hello? Hi, chat. All right, we're back, chat. Sorry, I'm stressing out right now, guys. On the other end of this, I'm watching Purdue try to qualify for Rocket League. Purdue caster here, by the way, and it is, they're throwing, and it's making me cry. But focusing on what actually matters, we got Boise State and Keiser. Zooming here on load, it's 2-3 right now. Keiser on the attack. More aggression towards Mount to start us off. This time, the bloodshed that we've grown accustomed to see has finally slowed down just a little bit. I think they may know where Solo is here. I don't know if they do or not, but meanwhile, it's A. It's a straight A hit, full aggression, everybody on site. Crimson does find Nina, though.
Spike planted.
First pick, I'm going to wait, of BSU. Another post-plant situation.
Off your feet!
And there comes the rolling thunder off the contact. And it's just ult after ult after ult. It's utility everywhere. It's Royals with the first pick off of it. But again, it looks like the post-plant's going to be impossible. The utility is just too much. Royals trying to make a run at it, but going to get the hell out of there. I mean, there's no way for him to do anything whatsoever. And doesn't even get away with his life. Everyone goes down outside of Ant.
Things that I've noticed in this round specifically, Boise tends to be pulling back, kind of giving up sight a bit more, and playing with the team, you know, waiting for your teammates to follow up, which on the surface level right there is definitely different from what they were doing in the last game, and I think that specifically is a better strategy, but pulling off a site, and especially with how bad the retakes have been so far, is probably not the way you want to go. You want to try to get as many people down as you can from the start.
Yeah, the retakes haven't been great, and now the first engagements aren't working either. It was the one positive we had for BSU early on, and now they're just down. Decimated. It's the 3v5, and Crimson about to lose his life as well. Stunned up, tagged up, and gunned down. Nothing this BSU squad can do right now. Hamilton have to fight for his life. Sheriff in hand, gets the first. But what else can he do? Nothing at all. It's a Guardian to the face. It's good night for Melton. Good night to this round as Mason finds the last pick.
Early picks from Keiser here, doing really well for them, help them with this round. Just that first pick from Lethal, and then early picks on A site, just really is what helps Keiser move along here, and is what Boise is now suddenly lacking. What they had before, those early aggressions, getting those first picks, first bloods, and breaking down those numbers early is what they need to keep doing, and right now it's not working out for them.
Looks like it's going to be more mountain aggression. This time it's not matched. You're right about that. They are dialing it back. Maybe this will be better. I don't know. I mean, it's still just one anchoring. It's just an Omen. An Omen that's blind, an Omen that's stunned, and an Omen taking explosives to the face. Lethal elsewhere. Finds one off the lurk.
Spike planted.
And once again, it's numbers advantage with Spike down. This time around, though, we got a lot of ults coming out. Time from Boise State. Melton gonna find the first pick, find a second, but it's Ant and Solo fighting their way back in.
One enemy
Kayagi and Crimson.
standing.
Oh, it's just the 1v1. It's Kayagi, it's a Lethal. It's a wide swing, and it's a win. It's a Lethal with 3, and a huge clutch. They're up by 4 now. Again, the run continues 6 rounds in a row.
Yeah, that one towards the end there, I wasn't sure if Lethal had that, but I mean, probably should know better than to doubt Lethal with some of the shots that he has been hitting here. But yeah, we're now, as you said, 6 rounds in a row without any sort of movement for Boise State here. And that's gotta feel pretty bad right now. Still, only 6 rounds on the board, still doable, bring backable. It's not really a word, but...
Nah, but we get the point. You know, there's still some hopium if you are a Mustang fan, but I mean, it's running out. Okay, we're running on empty. It's fumes left, and they need to figure things out. It's Mason who just finds the perfect timing. Everybody had their util out. Luckily, Kayagi does get the trade. But man, like, I shouldn't say anything. Kayagi just gets so much with that sheriff. Fortunately, it's a 5-man game. Yeah, it's going to be up to KOS and Melaton to bring this one back. And it's also the breach and the tail alive. Probably the last 2 people you want around for post plant. And it does get grabbed. So it's going to be Melaton in a 1v1 scenario. Gonna wall him off. The salvos go out, but he can still swing off this. He can still find an angle. He might just take the aggressive peek, and he does. The pre-fire is perfect. And a much-needed round finally coming the way of Boise State.
Yeah, that one, breaking that momentum a lot earlier than they did last map. Waited till that last round of the half for last map before breaking that sort of the role that Keiser was on. Boise probably feels a bit better, a bit more confident in themselves after kind of breaking that streak. Just got to keep it up. First time being able to retake and after the bomb has gone down, spike has gone down, and successfully defuse, even if time was running a bit low.
Yeah, and again, it's just, they needed it, man. There was literally nothing they had left. I mean, that was all of their ults. That was all of their money. And luckily, they're doing okay. They're back in it. The B site, though, is entirely empty. It's going to be a full-on 5v5 retake. And all that Boise State has to work with here is an Omen ult. Meanwhile, you get the Vise ult, you get the Showstopper, and I mean, what can Boise State do? They can't fight back into it. Lethal getting a little bit too aggressive, though. Does even up numbers. Solo on a long flank, finally gets some picks. It's Royals taking the space back in, and some post-plant utility. Something that we're very accustomed to seeing. Yeah, and the salvos, oh my. It's just so strong. What can you do? You need either Ant gone or the Teo gone. I mean, you can't play like this. It's impossible.
Yeah, no, the util usage and being able to follow up on said usage is just incredible from Keiser right now. They're very clearly comfortable with the agents they're using. They know exactly how to use their utility. They know exactly what to do with it and how to follow up on it. And it really shows in their post plant, the positions they take and how they use to prevent defuse.
Yeah, and it's so coordinated so well, and it's just so annoying that the last 2 alive seem to just be the Teo and the breach every time. Meanwhile, there was an eco play attempted from Boise State, but luckily, somehow, some way, the IGL of Keiser knew exactly what was going down. They're playing off angles in spawn, caught the B push. So I feel like I've said this a few times now, but yeah, numbers advantage, man advantage, early for Keiser. The Showstopper is going to go out towards C. There's nobody here though, so all for naught. But never bad to have peace of mind. Spike is down once again. It's a 4v3 scenario. Everybody's coming from such a long distance away. A lot of times going to go down on this Spike. Finally, the retake starts. Solo being covered, but Ant still finds it. The smokes were just a little bit off the timing. And yeah, a little bit of luck is all that they need. Get another
Last
one.
round
Look,
in the half.
Boise State got one, right? They stopped.
Yeah.
They stopped the run
Mhm.
for a brief moment, but it doesn't seem like it bothered Keiser at all.
No, no, definitely not. They have been pretty solid this whole time. Boise's trying to do more of that playing together, more of that teamwork, really trying to stick together, especially during retakes, which I think normally should be what you want to do, but against Keiser, they really just have to work on preventing plants.
Okay, Lethal, yeah, you're not going to get away with that, but that's a little too much even for you. But somehow the rest of the team still got his back. So they get 2 picks on the other end of the map. Just going back to the slow default play. Getting some info. Spot out KOS on this B site. That's all the info they need. They're going to head towards A off this. And Crimson, buddy, you are in PG-13 terms screwed. Nothing you could do there. Caught in between a rock and a hard place.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Off your feet!
KOS does find 1, 2. It's gonna have to be actually not a few more. I didn't realize it, but Boise State fought their way back into this pretty damn well.
Yeah, yeah. Gives them a better score than they had in the last match right now, having this 4-8, and I mean, not the worst in the world here, especially for at the time, you know, but heading into the next half, really still have an uphill battle. Not the worst and better than last time, but maybe we'll see them climb a bit more further up.
They have a chance. Again, this is Lotus. It's traditionally attack sided. So only getting 4 rounds in the defense doesn't actually feel as bad as it looks.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. You know, defense sided, you know, 4 rounds, attack sided, 4 rounds on defense is not too bad here, and heading into their attack half, maybe they'll find a bit more confidence.
Well, let's find out. First idea, just walk into B. Sure, I mean, why not? Yeah, and unfortunately, Royals just decided to do that all by his lonesome. I have no idea what the game plan was, but he dies alone on site, while the rest of his team is caught in no man's land. They're just adrift at sea, looking for a home, and I don't think that Keiser's gonna let that happen. They're just holding these chokes, these sites, very forward positions. Lethal gets a lot of info there too. That's gonna call solo over the door. And get this switch as soon as the util comes out. Luckily, do end up escaping with their lives. But for how long? For a little bit longer. KOS does find Nino.
30 seconds left.
Wow, Solo's really aggressively positioned. It's going to be really tough to convert. Yeah, shot's not landing. And the anchors on site doing their jobs. Time is so low. I don't know if they're going to be able to get here.
10 seconds
Crypto's
left.
trying to get some picks. It's the one with the spike, though. Kayagi
Standing.
going to stick a plant with 4 HP and a dream. And it's a dream that will never be realized as Mason shuts that down immediately.
Yeah, and the pistol round going to Keiser here. Not really what you want for Boise State, especially when pistol rounds seem to be more of their strong suit. Seem to be where they're getting at least some of those rounds in, and you wanted to go on, get a bit of an ego boost there, and now just have to save a bit more.
Yeah.
Satchel out.
I just have so many questions on why it seems disorganized. It seems so disconnected for Boise State right now. I don't know what they were cooking that round, but I am seeing normal aggression towards Rebel. It's going to be a lot of spam down and a lot of carnage. It does find a few, but that's not going to be nearly enough. Quick round here as everybody just gets absolutely shredded.
Yeah, as soon as the actual shots started hitting, just quick and over in the favor of Keiser. I mean, they are able to really read Boise pretty solidly. Like, round after round, they seemingly are able to have at least something to combat them and keep them from getting on site and planting. I mean, it's only been 2 rounds of defense, but so far they seem really strong with it.
All missiles away.
Satchel out.
Okay, well, this is Boise. This is fast. This is aggressive. This is what we like to see. It's Boise is running straight forward, but unfortunately running straight forward into the judge of lethal.
One enemy remaining.
And as quickly as this round started, it's gonna stop once more, unless Royals was on an absolute tear. That's not gonna happen. Solo says good night, and they're 2 away now from bringing the series home.
Yeah, I mean, the aggressive push seemed pretty solid, seemed to be going their way, and then just unexpectedly, Lethal was right there and living up to his name, proving to be very lethal to their plan.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, been lethal throughout this entire series,
Exactly.
and an absolute terror. The Mustangs have not been able to find a solution for so far. You know, terror. Here we go again. We're pushing really fast into Rebel. This time it's even numbers. They still haven't gotten Mason out of this spot. He's still firmly planted, and Ant.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, gonna bring this down to a 1v1, but Lethal is in a bit of a crazy spot. And even with the noise heard, it doesn't matter. Shots are too clean.
Yeah, I mean, once again, just having that as soon as shots are hitting, it's just over really fast here. Keiser being able to meet Boise head on and not really take too much damage themselves, like not lose too much manpower. And I mean, even when Boise's able to even it up, those 1v1s, they just aren't winning them.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of individual talent on display here, specifically from Keiser. They've just taken over rounds at time. And they're walking into the same setup for the 3rd round in a row, and it's just not working. Solo, it's 2 picks. It's going to be Ant who comes in to try to clean things up. This time, though, getting away with it.
Last player standing.
And Nino, okay. Okay. Well, I thought it was going to be finally a way for BSU to get back into things. They won the early fights, but Nino said, no, I'm done. I want to get out of here. And that's exactly what they did. It's a 2-0 victory. It's dominant. And I really can't say much. It's just Keiser absolutely rolling over the Mustangs.
Yeah, definitely. They knew there was definitely a difference between these two, a very clear difference between these two teams and how they were playing, how they were able to respond to the challenge of each other. And Keiser came out on top very clearly. Yeah,
and they'll move on to 4-1 in the season, putting them firmly near the top of that Group 1 in Titans division. Meanwhile, fortunately for Boise State, that puts them at 0-5, and it looks like their playoff dreams going to be dashed pretty early on. I mean, I don't know if there's a way mathematically for them back into it, but it just seems like very unlikely at this point.
Yeah, definitely. It's not looking great here. I don't know either. For Boise State, but they did put up a pretty good fight at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot to work from. I think, the individual players are very talented. We saw some pop-off plays, but it just seems like the organization of the squad and some of the tactics that were being drawn up just didn't really seem to work out. And that's the biggest thing here. Once we get into higher level play, you got to be organized. You got to know exactly what you're doing at all times. The protocols have to be perfect, but not the case today.
Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, anything else you got to add to that? I think
No,
think
I
this,
think you covered it pretty well. It really is just teamwork, and Kaiser was able to have a lot better teamwork at the end of the day.
yep. Although I think that will be it. I think that's gonna be it from us. So congratulations to Keiser University, our winners here in week 5 of our Titans Division matchup on stream. We'll catch you guys next week. We got a bunch of other ECA streams this week, though. Don't miss those. Every day, 8 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow's some Rocket League gameplay coming towards you. And yeah, we'll be back next week. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for watching, as always.
Bye.